Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Awesome Spectacular, hosted by me, Rufaro, and of course, alongside Bubbleclub's very own DJ Ollie Wattens. On this very special version of the podcast today, not only are we going to be discussing on some very fun topics, but we've also got a very special guest. We're here with my really good friend, co-director and of course facilitator of Accessories, and of course of Tapeport and Black Cub, and of course the event that is starting tomorrow, Transforming Leadership, Adam Smith.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Rufaro and Ollie. I really appreciate it. It's so fantastic to contribute to the podcast, and it's really great to be part of it. So thank you so much for inviting me.
That's okay, Adam. I want to ask you some questions about transforming leadership, if that is okay. So,
that's okay.
Adam, what is your role on transforming leadership?
Yes, so my role on transforming leadership is the trainee co-director of Access All Areas Take Part's community programs, which are Spring Back, Departure Lounge, and Black Cab. And with transforming leadership, it's a collaboration between Access All Areas, Disability Arts Online, and with Dr. Lucy Burke from Manchester Metropolitan University. And this programme gives 9 learning disabled and autistic artists the chance to take on leadership roles within the company of Access All Areas. So, as I said, my role is the trainee co-director of Access All Areas Take Part community programmes. Then you've also got a co-chair, a co-deputy chair, 3 jobs involving working for social media. So there's 2 jobs for social media, digital influencing with Access All Areas, and there's also 1 digital influencing job with Disability Arts Online. And then also we have a co-director for the performance company, which I'm part of. And we also have a co-director for the performance making diploma at Access All Areas. And then we've also got an evaluator for the job as well. So somebody who just evaluates what's going on and how things are going. And it's all really fantastic. So I think I've mentioned all the jobs. Yes, I have. Yes, definitely. So brilliant.
Okay, that sounds really interesting, Adam. Because you've mentioned all the stuff that you've done, especially with Black Cub, do you want to give our viewers a bit of an insight on what Black Cub is and what your role is at that point?
Yes, so with Black Cab, it's a theatre company that creates and devises productions about lived experiences. So, for example, the latest project that Black Cab did back in 2020 was an audio exhibition called Still Here. And it's basically really what it's about is talking about learning disabled and autistic life during the lockdown. So with this exhibition, we have 8 different stops around Hackney. And basically each stop will describe what the stop is, and basically each stop will have a Black Cab participant talking about what they love about Hackney, what they miss about Hackney, and what they're learning from lockdown and what they want to see change after the lockdown. So it's all absolutely fantastic stuff. And in order to access the audio exhibition descriptions, basically each stop has a QR code, and basically you have to get your smartphone or other electronic device and then scan your QR code to the stop, and then that will give you access to the audio descriptions. And it was such a fantastic project to be part of, and we spent the whole of the summer holidays 2020 working with the different participants, including with you, Rufaro, and it was absolutely fantastic. So I co-directed this project with Helen, and Helen worked with a few participants, and I worked with the rest of the participants. And basically our job was to assign participants to different stops within the audio exhibition, and get them to think about what they want to say with their stop. So, for example, if a stop was outside a train station, basically I would get the participant to think, what can they see when they go to a train station? What can they smell? What can they hear? What is their journey like when commuting from their home to Black Cab Theatre Company in Sutton House? So that was one of the stops that I co-directed, and of course we worked with all the different participants and we got them to think about the characteristics of their different stops and everything, and it was absolutely fantastic. And the audio exhibition ran from the 13th of September to the 31st of October. So it was quite a long run in Hackney. It was absolutely fantastic.
It really was.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting one, actually. And I just want to talk about the piece that I did on Hackney Carnival, which was done really well, by some input and a lot of help and effort by Helen, of course, because we know that Helen really puts us in that comfort zone of working really hard in a visionary way, which is very genius. So when I thought of the piece of Hackney Carnival, I thought of a lot of things that people miss, especially when it came to performing, because originally we know that Still Here was supposed to be a face-to-face performance, but because now of the lockdown, things had to change, and we thought it would be very easy to just get it recorded. And I remembered every time I would do a Zoom session with Helen, we would just run through the lines of me saying what I need to say, how I would present it and stuff. And I do have to say thanks for Helen for putting me in that position for it. I think it was a very great experience. And also a massive thanks to you, Adam, for co-directing the piece, which is really interesting. I know we've worked together on a couple of other occasions here in Ville.
Yes, we have, because obviously we've done various Hackney Shed collective projects, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
Basically, normally what happens in the summer, basically Hackney Shed and Access All Areas Theatre would come together and they would do a summer collective project basing it on various different things like climate change, keeping the planet clean, and also carnival subjects. And Hackney Shed would run the first part, and we'd probably make costumes and basically devise characters and perform a small piece in Chat's Palace. And then Access All Areas will take over for the second part, and they would get participants to get prepared for Hackney Carnival. And I remember me and you participating in Hackney Carnival together back in 2017, and
that was a good moment. That was a really interesting moment to basically look upon, because I noticed that not only was it just only us, but we had Rachel Darcy, who we both know, who obviously is really, really, really talented at what she does. And then, of course, we had Lee Phillips, who's another participant who we also know, who's also a part of Transforming Leadership. We also had John Dennison as well. We had Madeline. We had Charlene Lowe. We had Helen, of course. We had Haley. We even had help from Lucy Andrews as well. Like, we had some really great companionship from everyone that really put their heart and soul and tears into this project.
I know, and I remember we also collaborated with Vital Exposure, which is another theatre company, and they're based outside Hackney Empire, and basically we worked together with a giant puppet, and basically it was called Pullen's Puppet, and it was invented by a man called James Henry Pullen, who was an autistic person who lived in Earlswood Asylum, and he was very gifted at creating wooden puppets, and in the asylum he used to make amazing wooden sculptures of boats, and he made this gigantic wooden puppet to kind of show off to people outside of the asylum. And the original puppet, I believe, is still located in Langdon Down Museum of Disability, and basically we created a replica of that puppet for Hackney Carnival, and it was really great to show the talents of learning disabled and autistic people to the world, and saying that, you know, we are strong and powerful and we will not tolerate discrimination any longer. You know, basically we are here to fight for equality and we won't stop fighting, and as one big family we will work together to change the world. Definitely.
Yeah, and that's what we did with everything that we've done. If it's either with Still Here or with Black Cab, or either with Hackney Carnival, or mainly with Madhouse, because that was the first thing that we also did, and that was really huge. But Adam, do you want to explain to the viewers what Madhouse was about? Or
Oh yes, so Madhouse basically was focusing on basically long stay hospitals and the atrocities that were going on in there, the labelling the residents got, and, you know, how the atmospheres was really dark and depressing in there, you know, so it was just absolutely horrible. And obviously we did a lot of research into the asylums and so forth, and Madhouse was about artists, you know, explaining what it's like to be learning disabled and autistic, and describing the discriminations they might be having, you know, the financial problems that are going on with benefits and so forth, benefit cuts. It explains so many different political things which are still happening today, and it's, you know, really, really unbearable. And in terms of our roles, are you like one of the patient 36s, weren't you?
I was. I could remember that obviously there were patients for each day of each room.
Yeah.
Obviously, not only was I also involved, but everyone else was also involved that took part, creative enablers as well.
Yeah.
Even our artists that worked day and night on it as well, they worked really hard. Dare was involved as, I would say, as an eater. We had a magician, of course.
Yeah.
DJ was a bird that wanted to be free.
And there was a baby as well, you know.
Yeah, that was played brilliantly well by Kian. I think even though it was centered around to be funny but also serious because of the poem, we had Imogen that was Lady Jag, a woman that also wanted to get out of the hospital. I remember at times, even during the workshops for the show, we would work constantly and try and see what we were gonna do for most of the days. I know it was going to be like one of the hardest working days of my life personally, but I would say it was the best experience I ever had. I know there were some moments that I thought were really stressful at some points, but we got through it, and I think a massive congratulations to everyone that got involved with it, because not only did it do well, I know that Sky News even came to interview the artist, and if I would also stand correctly, Adam, if I'm not also wrong on this, I know that the artists also continued doing the show at the Vaults.
Yes, they did. I think they did. I think there were some performances at the Vaults as well, and there was a performance in Manchester.
Yeah.
And then I remember I did some of the music for the show because I participated in a kind of protest song about, you know, nobody ever listens, nobody hears the weak, you know, our benefits are being cut and it's just so unbearable, you know. So yes, there's definitely different incarnations of Madhouse that went about, because I know that some of us also did a Madhouse, Maya House workshop at Chats Palace, and basically
we did.
We were kind of describing discrimination, being locked away and so forth. And yes, it was just incredible, you know, and then I did another project called Princess of the Graveyard Palace with Face Front Inclusive Theatre.
And also with Not Your Circus Dogs, because I remembered you guys also did another show which I think everyone would know is Not Effing Sorry.
Yes, that's right. And basically, Not Effing Sorry describes so many different things. So we have disability, hate crime, you know, also sexual fantasy, sexual taboos, and, you know, basically a lot of parodies as well. So many different things all rolled into one. And that was quite an intensive process as well, because although it was great to kind of celebrate ourselves and be glamorous and fantastic, and that was all absolutely fantastic, but we also did a lot of research into hate crime and hate crime incidents, and of course the research was really, really, really tough, you know, because and obviously it still goes on today, hate crime, and obviously, and you know, it's such a powerful process we all went through, and you know, it was just really, really great to be part of. And at the end of the day, you know, I remember all of us swearing to society, saying, you know, we're not going away, we're not effing sorry, we're not your circus dogs, you know, we're sick and tired of being your circus dogs, and we're here to stay, get used to it, you know, definitely. So that was really, really fantastic, and hopefully we can perform NFS again sometime in the future, you know, so fingers crossed, you know, you never know what's going to happen, definitely.
Yeah. All I could possibly elaborate on that really, Adam, is that NFS was a very big standpoint for people with learning and, of course, difficulties with disability. And I think it was very impressive how you guys took over one of the theatres. I think it was Soho.
Yes, it was Soho Theatre upstairs, definitely.
And I remembered a while back, I think it was essential when you guys did a bit of a preview of the performance at the Exit Festival.
Yes, so basically it started off as a performance piece for the Exit Festival. I wasn't in that first bit at the time because I was in another piece called These Four Walls. And with These Four Walls, basically, it describes, you know, disability institutions with references to Mabel Cooper and a lot of other residents. So, so NFS started off as a title piece called I'm Sorry I'm Here, and, you know, and that was like the first carnation of it, basically. And then they talked about just normal everyday taboos and being fabulous, and, you know, and then we got commissioned to perform a short element of that piece again at the Royal Vauxhall Tavern and the Electric Brixton. And basically we made the piece shorter for the Duckies event at Brixton. And basically, because it was shorter, we just kind of talked about, you know, being fabulous in our performance, you know, we're here to stay, we're sexy, and it's okay to talk about sexual taboos, and, you know, so it's absolutely brilliant. So that's the performance we did for Brixton and the Royal Vauxhall Tavern. And then back in 2018, we started the R&D process of Not Effing Sorry. And basically, we try to expand the piece, you know, to include other things in it, like, you know, discrimination, exploring the darker side of NFS, basically. And, you know, we talked about, you know, being stripped away from things, stripping off, and, you know, being discriminated, and so many different things, basically, you know. And then back in 2019, we started to really develop the piece into like a 50-minute piece, and we developed the hate crime subject, and we developed the sexual fantasies into it, and we developed the parodies into it as well. So we developed so many different things into NFS, you know. So It's very hard to describe it because obviously it's
I
just
know.
it covers so many different things,
It
and
really did. It really
yeah,
did. But
yeah,
it was a very powerful show. I would definitely urge. I know you mentioned to me that a lot of things were taken out at the last minute due to the themes and the subjects that were important on the rest of the show.
yeah. So obviously, we had to do a lot of adding in and taking away, and what was relevant and what was not relevant. Because obviously, we didn't want to make this into like a historical piece, but at the same time, we had to have some historical elements in there, so that process was obviously very intense, because we're adding new things, we're taking new things away, and we're just trying out new things all the time. And even in the week before the actual run itself, we were kind of trying out different things and so forth. And yeah, it was a intense process, but I think it was a fantastic process as well.
It really was. And I know you guys not only did it yourselves. I know you, DJ, Emma, and of course Barry did all of the work on the show. But I know before her and Lizelle even helped you out with you guys on
Yeah, so
making it bigger. So explain about that.
yeah, so basically, when Lizelle was still teaching on the performance making diploma back in 2016, she worked with the original carnation of NFS, which was I'm Sorry I'm Here. And basically, she was there from the very beginning, basically. And then after the Exit Festival performance, Lizelle asked whether I would be interested in coming into NFS and joining the piece, and then, of course, in the first rehearsal, I remember I was there just posing and being glamorous, and Lizelle really, really loved that, and she thought that was absolutely fantastic. And she said, "Adam, you were made for this." And I think my journey with NFS started from there, basically, So, and Lizelle's been there all the way through the beginning. She's worked really hard in keeping NFS alive, and we've also worked with Lucy Andrews and Heather Johnson and lots of other people as well. It's just been really, really incredible. And yeah, I just thank you to Access All Areas for helping us grow as a company as well. And that was absolutely fantastic, definitely.
Yeah, it's all waters, but also I think Axel brought a lot of people together, especially when it came to I think it was my first year at Central. I think it was 2015. I know you and I did not meet until I think it was around that year, or was it 2016?
We met in 2016 because we worked together on the launch pad, didn't we?
Yeah, we
so,
did. I
yeah.
think since then I think we've kind of grown and respected one another. I think the first time I met you, and this is to be very honest, I would say you were one of those very confident people that would just I'll get along with straight away. And I thought to myself, yeah, this guy's got so much to give. And I actually thought I was really grateful to have you around. And since then, I want to say thanks for not just only being a friend and a facilitator in so many ways, and an actor as well, and also a fellow performer, but I appreciate everything that we've done together, so I just want to say thanks for that, Adam.
Yeah, and you're welcome, Rufaro, and thank you for being a friend to me as well. You've been really, really supportive, and
I always have been.
Yeah, when I work with you, basically, you lift up the energies of the room and you make it a fun room to be in. And I remember the first time we worked together was the Hackney Shed project. Back in 2017.
Yes, I remember. That was a fun moment we had. And
exactly, and we were making lots of different carnival costumes together from newspaper, and that was really fantastic. And I remember the following Hackney Shed project that we worked on, we were working with a clown, and basically we were making face masks. And I remember me and you were partnered together, and you were using my face to make face masks.
Oh yeah, I
and then I
remember.
yeah, exactly. And I was
That
using
was amazing.
yeah, exactly. And then I used your face to make face
yeah.
masks as well. So that was really brilliant, definitely.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
a lot of great fun, and just to get on the first topic about role models, really. So Adam, who's your role model in life?
Oh, I've so many. I think Dame Judi Dench is one because I think she is just so powerful in what she does. You know, she carries on being brilliant. She's doing so much, and you know, she's able to really, really carry on with her work and carry on being passionate about her work as well. Everything she does is so really, really powerful. So definitely Dame Judi Dench, definitely. You know,
Yeah,
so
she's a delightful icon. She really is.
yeah,
I would say for me, because I've got a lot of role models, not just for mainly with actors, but other people in general. But if I would choose one, and I know no one else would probably know, but my overall role model would have to be Helen from Triple A, because there were things about Helen I did not know at first when she first started Triple A, because I noticed she was an intern at first before Kira was still around, and now
yeah,
that Kira has left, even though Kira will always still be a role model to all of us in general, and Madeline, and of course Catherine as well. But I think there was a sort of honesty about Helen that I think really struck with me since day one. I think I noticed that she's a very caring, charismatic person, very funny, very professional, very early, always on time, that sort of person. I noticed me and Helen both have like a sort of mindset when it comes to things and with ideas, and what I truly, truly adore and love about Helen very much, and very dear to the heart to this day, Adam, I think Helen understands people's emotions, and that's the best thing to possibly have when you're walking in to Black Cab or Triple A, either if it's you or Katie Wheeler or either Sophie or anybody in that significant order. You could understand if someone is feeling a bit down or upset. You obviously come to them, and I think with Helen, she understands it very clearly, and that's who obviously is a role model to me. So props off to her for that.
yeah. I definitely agree with you. Helen is a role model for everyone because she knows her stuff and she's really, really supportive of everyone. And obviously, I work with Helen with Transforming Leadership, and she's just been so supportive of me. I've learnt so much from her and the way she teaches, and I've learnt so much from the way she brings ideas, the way she facilitates, and you know, I've just got Helen to thank so much for, you know, she's been really, really supportive of me, and you know, she's definitely a very powerful, supportive leader, and also Katie Wheeler, my support mentor. You know, she's been fantastic as well.
Very,
Yeah,
very fantastic.
definitely. And also, I've got to say thank you to Kira Brennan as well, because it was thanks to Kira that I got involved with Accessible Areas. You know, so because it all started back in 2015 when I was at Tramshed Theatre, and basically a new theatre company at Tramshed was being introduced called Reach Theatre Company, and we remember auditioning Kira to be the director, and then she got the job, and then I say it was thanks to Kira for supporting me and introducing me to Access All Areas and believing that I could be part of such an incredible theatre company. And you know, and it's thanks to Access All Areas that I've been able to kind of work with other kind of theatre companies as well, definitely. So yeah, I'll just say Helen and Kira and Katie, you know, are some of the incredible role models I have, definitely, you know.
Yeah, they are very much. And of course, even though we have them to thank, I also have to put a lot of praise into mostly all my friends that have really been amazing role models. I know Lee Phillips is one for giving me so much guidance and advice. You, of course, because I know not just because we only work together and catch up on a daily basis, but I would say if there's one thing I could basically take from you, Adam, as a role model, is that you have so much intelligence, and that's the best thing that I truly care about for you very much.
Oh, thank you, Rufaro. You have so much intelligence as well, you know.
I appreciate that. I really
yeah,
do.
you do. You do have so much intelligence, you know. And it's great that we can talk about films, and it's great that we can actually go out and just hang out and go for meals and watch films as well, because I think that's really, really important to have some time to kind of rest and, you know, just let your mind rest as well, and immerse yourself in films and other form of entertainment and theatre as well, and different kinds of theatre around there. It's always great to take a break from things and immerse yourself in all the stuff that's out there. Definitely.
Yeah, very much, because obviously I've supported you when it came to the Certers, and obviously you've been to mainly my birthdays, which has also been a very fun experience to have.
Yeah.
And it's not just only friends that I look up to as role models, but mainly family and, of course, male and female friends as well. And one role model that I haven't actually had the chance of mentioning is Ollie, because if it wasn't for him with this podcast, I don't think it would have been this possible, really. So I'm really proud on calling him a fellow partner, but also a great creator for the podcast, because this podcast started up as an idea. It didn't became like a sort of like a small entity of like a bunch of brainstorming ideas. It just became like this massive thing, and since then it kind of grew as its own thing, and then we came up with the idea alongside with Hugo to figure out who could be a co-host, and then I thought of Paul, because we both obviously work with him. And I think the thing about Paul is, and I hope he understands what a lot of people can go through, is that I think people with, you know, with cerebral palsy definitely need to get their voices heard. And it's not just only him in general, but also our friend Kirsty Liddell as well, who we also have worked with on Black Cub as well. And I think everyone should just have their voices heard, who are very much really good role models. I know everyone needs to deserve to have that chance on being appreciative once in a while. Obviously I have a lot of remorse to thank, mainly my mom. And then, of course, my dad and other people that hold me down and feel me grounded. A massive thanks to you, Helen, and Katie, and Sophie for being those amazing role models in my life, because I don't know what I would do without you guys, apparently. A massive praise of a thank you to Ollie and, of course, Bubble Club for being incredible role models. But I do want to thank Kirsty Adams, Rachel Darcy, Kirsty Liddell, Tyson, anybody else that I obviously share a close bond with, if it's with Terry and Saz, or either with Deo or Lee, or either Key. And I do want to say a massive thank you to them, and also a huge congratulations to you guys with the Transforming Leadership event that's happening. I think that's gonna go really, really well.
Yes, definitely. So the event's going to be tomorrow at the Battersea Arts Centre, and each of us artists and leaders are going to talk about our experiences of being on the Transforming Leadership project, and basically we'll be showing our experiences to an audience in person and online live streamed as well. And basically we'll be getting them to think about themselves, you know, begin to think about how they work, you know, and thinking about what they want to change, and basically what they want to take out of this event, what they want to take away from this event, definitely. And basically it's going to be really, really interesting to get their responses. And I've got to say thank you to my mum and my sister and my dad and all my family for helping me along the journey and everything. It's just been really, really great. And yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what the audience responses are tomorrow, definitely.
I think
Incredible.
it's gonna go really good, even though it's just gonna be an amazing experience for mainly all of you, because I know you've mentioned that Ali does the evaluation. Speaking on the Transforming Leadership event, Adam, do you want to discuss on whose roles are important to the audience for tomorrow, and also explain on the reason why this event is going to be so relevant to everyone?
Um, Basically, this event is important because we're showing everyone that it's really important to have learning disabled and autistic neurodivergent leaders to take on leadership roles, because we have lived experiences which are really, really valuable to everyone, and we have so much to say and so much to contribute, in our own ways. It's going to be really, really important for us to talk about that, definitely. And, it's really, really important that we have an equal role as everyone, and everyone's jobs within transforming leadership are all important in their own way. So definitely. So it's really, really great to have Charlene and Paul on the chair jobs, which is fantastic. And it's really great to see Kian, Terry and Dean doing the digital influencing, which is fantastic. And it's really great for myself, Katie and Emma to be co-directors, and it's really great for Lee to evaluate what the job and evaluate the program and everything. So each job is important in its own way, and it's really, really great to see us all thrive and become confident as leaders, definitely. Yeah. Of course, I think we've all done very well in this program, even though we had a pandemic, and obviously our jobs had to change quite a bit. So we've had to have meetings online, we've had to have presentations online, and we've had to do workshops and online and board meetings online and so forth. Even though we had to change from in-person to online, we all still managed to soldier on, just like everybody else in the world. We all managed to soldier on during the uncertain times. And
Yeah, we did.
exactly, even though it wasn't easy, we're still soldiering on, and we're just taking each day as it comes, so the whole world is working together and taking each day as it comes. And that's really, really important, definitely.
Yeah, it truly is. Adam, I just want to know from you, what's your favorite type of music, and how did music resonate with you through not just your performances, but mainly with transforming with your acting as well, moving forward?
So I think my favorite kind of music is film music, because it's very atmospheric and it can tell a story and it can really create an atmosphere. And I like music by Enya as well, because it's so therapeutic and it can help me and other people really calm down and help us to take care of our mental health. And basically, I was able to incorporate my musical skills into take part activities. So back earlier on this year, I composed a jingle song, and it was a song about staying safe and taking care of yourself during the COVID pandemic. And basically, the song was about, doing a lateral flow test before you go to Sutton House, keeping your distance at Sutton House, wearing warm clothes, staying home if you feel unwell, just the important guidelines about staying safe during the pandemic. And and I actually put those words into a song, and it really resonated well with participants and so forth. And I've also been able to compose background atmospheric film music for other kind of activities as well, like for example meditations and various other kind of black cab performances as well, you know. So I was able to compose music to make the atmospheres more powerful and mysterious and strong, and yeah, it was really, really great, definitely. So I've got to thank Access All Areas for that as well, for helping me to develop my music skills and helping me to contribute my music skills to various different performances. And I've also got to thank Blue Sky Actors for that as well, because basically they've allowed me to compose music for various different performances. So I've just got to thank both companies for that, definitely.
I think
Yeah.
it's been an impressive transition to see how far you've come, Adam, with not just with the music side of your performance, but also with how much you put so much time and effort into them. I know, would there be any music involved in our upcoming Black Cup event? That's, well, our performance, really.
That's something we could definitely explore, you know. So obviously we're creating a new performance with Black Cab at the moment, you know, and I'll be co-directing that. And obviously it's still in the kind of experimental stage. We're still thinking about ideas for the show, but music is definitely something we could definitely explore for the piece, you know.
Yeah,
Definitely.
we definitely
Yeah.
could. And I know there's been a lot of ideas thrown around with how everyone else wants their character to appear and how they want it to really go written. But I think this is gonna be something completely different compared to anything that we've done. I think this is gonna be something very impressive.
I think so, definitely, you know. So it'd be really interesting to see what the final outcome it is. The final outcome of it is, definitely, you know. So yeah, so watch this space. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I also want to talk about you and I hosting together at Bubble Club. So, Adam, what was that like for you?
I think it was really great for me to be introduced to Bubble Club, because that all came through an event that I did with Deptford Freestylers, and basically Bubble Club invited Deptford Freestylers to perform with them at the Tate Modern Gallery back in 2020.
I remember that.
And then basically Rowley, the director of Deptford Freestylers, put me forward to Hugo, who wanted me to kind of be a Shakespeare character coming back from the dead and observing the 21st century and loving the vibes of the 21st century. And when I was asked to do that, I thought, oh my God, that's going to be really, really great. And it was really great for me to be introduced to Bubble Club and seeing how Bubble Club works and so forth. And it's really great how they put on performance events that are so inclusive to everyone, and it's so welcoming to everyone. And it's really great that the Bubble Club participants are also able to help design props as well for the events. So help design costumes, help design characters, help design materials. It's really great for me to see Bubble Club making props, because I think that's so incredible, and it's really great for everybody to get involved in it. And me and you hosting together was absolutely brilliant, because
it was a very fun time, because obviously we had a lot of prep, but also a massive thanks to Trinks, who also styled us in costume. I think she deserves amount of praise, and just everyone that got involved. But yeah, I thought it was a really fun experience, to say the least. Well, not only that, but also the first time you and I hosting together, I thought that was really fun, and it both kind of matched our energy a lot, because we have done these sort of things before when it came to performing with Triple A.
Exactly, definitely. And if I remember correctly, the Oldie Tropicana event, that was one of my first performances in person since the pandemic, and it was really great for me to perform with you and to welcome all the audience members to the in-person events, and that was just so refreshing, and it was like a true celebration of everybody coming together and just celebrating the freedom, basically, so it was just really, really powerful.
Yeah.
And I remember me and you doing a rap together, didn't we? So
I think it was really fun, and I just went into it, and then you just improvised on the spot, which obviously I know that you do. I think it was really good how we just gave the crowd so much fun, so much energy, and so much vibes. I know that was not only the first time you seeing me again during the pandemic, but also the first time seeing Tyson, of course, in like such a while, but also seeing Ollie and everyone for the first time. But Adam, how was your experience performing on that stage with me, and how did that make you feel?
It was really great for me to perform in person again with you, and it was really great for me to work with the audience and getting them really entertained for the events and so forth. And it's really great to be amongst the crowd and just help the crowd celebrate the freedom and everything. It was just so refreshing and so powerful. It really, really was. And it was also great for us to watch other acts performing again live, and that was really, really powerful, and it was so amazing.
It really was. It was a much of an eye-opener. And speaking of an eye-opener, because we're going straight into a movie review, I would possibly explain one of the biggest movies that came out. I think it was 2019 or 20, I think it was, and that was Avengers Endgame.
Oh, incredible.
Adam, do you want to discuss on why you enjoyed Avengers Endgame and why it's so big than any other Marvel film that we've ever actually seen before?
Well, because I think the Avengers Endgame was so powerful because we saw the ensemble of all the different superheroes coming together to help take down Thanos for good, and it was just so amazing to see all the superheroes using their powers, using their talents, and working together as a whole big family to make the world a better place again. It was just so amazing to see everybody there, and obviously it was sad to say goodbye to some of the loved characters and so forth.
Because it was very much of a downfall.
Yeah, it was. But it was a good celebration of everybody coming together and, coming from different backgrounds and just working together to achieve a goal, basically. It was just really, really powerful. And the music was so incredible during the film. It really was, fully orchestrated and so powerful with all the orchestral forces. And obviously when I was seeing it in the cinema, I'm sure you were, I'm sure everybody was
definitely
seeing it in the cinema, everybody was glued to the screen. It was just so wonderful. And I thought it was really effective in the end credits when basically the actors had their autographs signed with their credit names and everything.
And then it was
just
really so montages of everything they've been through, because these are like heroes we love. We've noticed that from 2008 when it came to Iron Man, and then straight up to now, it's like Endgame is still the most talked about film of all time. Like, there's no other film that could honestly beat that movie. And honestly, yeah, it is really sad that we had to see some people go.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not going to be the same not seeing them, but also rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman, because
Yes, of course.
obviously a lot of people did not know during his time while being cast for Civil War he had an illness, and
Yeah.
he wanted to keep it on the down low. But I think just discussing on Chadwick Boseman, Adam, what did you remember about his performance from Black Panther that will stick with you forever for the rest of time?
I think what I loved about his performances, and even though his character was beaten halfway through the film, he was able to soldier on and, fight for the things he loves, basically, and, fight for his country and fight for equality. And that was really, really powerful to see. And I really, really loved seeing it, definitely,
I think it was such a powerful film, not just for us as actors in general, but I think for a whole nation of a generation, because that movie was a very huge film, because it does take place right after Civil War, and then it does lead up to Infinity War and Endgame. I know all of the films have led up one way or another, but
Yeah.
they were massive. Black Panther was massive.
It was.
Spider-Man No Way Home, mainly massive. I know very soon we're definitely at some point very soon gonna get Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and that's gonna be a massive film that everyone's gonna talk about. But
Yeah.
Adam, are you looking forward to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness?
Yes, I am, definitely. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the Marvel characters again, like Doctor Strange, and, definitely. And it'd be great to see maybe Captain Marvel again, perhaps, definitely. It'd be really interesting to see how all the characters develop and everything. And talking to Marvel films, hopefully sometime I'm gonna watch the films in chronological order in terms of story again. So it'd be good to kind of see how all the characters come in and how they all meet and how the story develops and everything. Definitely. So.
I really do appreciate and obviously, even though I do love Marvel, but I do have some love for DC films as well, especially with Birds of Prey, of course, Aquaman, for example, the 2 Wonder Woman movies,
Yes, yeah.
Man of Steel, the Suicide Squad 1 and 2.
Oh, yes.
And then, of course, recently just added into that list is the Batman that came out just recently, which I think I highly recommend to people if they should go and see it, because it's really really dark but also very entertaining, to say the least. But I would say Marvel will always have a close connection with us, and also DC as well. But I think for me personally, I think it was really emotional to see Iron Man die in Endgame, and obviously Black Widow as well, even though her movie was out of this world, one of the best movies out of the Marvel universe, to be standard by incorrect. But obviously, even looking back on those movies, we even see ourselves as superheroes, Adam, in our normal day lives, because even though we are talking about role models, for instance, even if it's Bubble Club or people you worked with different organizations or access areas, everyone is a big family and they're all superheroes. And in their own way, I think they all have an ensemble, because look at Ollie, for instance. He has his own superpower with producing music, and
Brilliant.
it's a very terrific power to have. But I'm really proud of everybody that we have in our lives that are mainly superheroes, and they are forever gonna be loved and dead in our hearts. And the people that are not with us anymore, that are up there looking down on us, are really proud of our accomplishments.
Exactly. We're all superheroes in our own ways. We all have amazing powers. We all do our best to make sure the world is a secure place and everything. And even though when things are extremely tough, we somehow manage to find a way to soldier on. And even that's not easy all the time, but we still have some kind of strength to kind of carry on as much as possible, you know. So I think each and every one of us should be proud of that, definitely.
Yeah, we really should. I'm not only just proud on my own superpower, I'm proud of everyone's superpower. I'm also proud of yours and Axelaria's, and everybody sees each other as like one big core of a family and treating each other like brothers and mainly like sisters and also like mentors. And I think if it wasn't for Axelaria's, I would have not had a chance on meeting you or meeting anybody in that particular order from Central, or would have not gotten the chance to do the things that I love, because obviously this is what I'm really passionate about. It's something I've been working towards for quite a while. I was really happy about the news about getting into Central, meeting you, and then like straight up from then straight up to now in 2022, we're still doing things that we obviously love. You're still performing. I'm obviously still a part of everything that I'm doing right now, not only with Bubble Club but with AAA. Me coming up with my first ever podcast, like how it went from how it was then to how it is now, is a massive accomplishment. But Adam, what do you think my progress has been alongside with you and with everything that I have done moving forward?
Basically, you've come on so much, Rufaro. You've become a much more confident person now, and you know, you're doing so many different things, and I think it's really, really incredible. And the ideas that you're coming up with are really fantastic, you know, and you become a really energetic person. I really, really appreciate that, definitely. And that's all thanks to the help and support of Access All Areas, definitely, because I think they're so welcoming to everyone. And, you know, Access All Areas know so many different companies as well. You know, it's a big networking family of other companies all working together for equality and to make the world a better place, definitely. So I think it's really great to be part of everything like Access All Areas, Facefront, Bubble Club, you know, all the big companies working together to give neurodivergent, learning disabled and autistic people the chance to thrive and the chance to have their voice heard and have the chance to save the world, basically, you know.
Yeah, because everyone is their own superhero. Everyone else has their own power. Yeah. Also, a very quick side note message for everyone, including to our viewers. Obviously, get your voices heard. Obviously, stand up for what you believe in. Never give up. But also, don't be afraid to try new things. Just be creative and soldier on. Adam, you've got anything else to say?
Yes, so even though these times are still uncertain, you know, take care of yourself. Try to believe in yourself, even though it may not always be easy. Just believe in the things that you're doing and love yourself. Love the things that you're doing, love the people all around you, and basically just take each day as it comes and make the most of life, definitely.
Yeah, and even though some people do have their good and bad days, it's okay, which is understandable. It all comes down to how your day progresses and how you're feeling, because obviously nowadays people could either go through the metaverse in a good or either in a very struggling way on how to cope with mental health. But at the end of the day, obviously, everyone who does feel like a superhero does go through their own struggles in the society, because I know we're not out of the woods just yet with everything that's been going on, not just with what's been happening with Ukraine. Our hearts go out to them at this time, but also what's been happening with mainly with you know, with the hurricane that went down recently, with the O2. So glad that the roof got fixed for it. But yeah, I think right now everyone just needs to be there for each other, support one another, and just feel lucky to be around with people that cherish them for the rest of their lives.
Exactly, and all of our hearts go out to the people in Ukraine, and we just hope the future is brighter for them, and obviously we'll think about them every day, and we'll try to support them in any way that we can, and we'll support one another in any way that we can, and let's just see what tomorrow brings. Let's see what the future brings. Definitely.
Yeah, we sure do. A massive shout out to Bubble Club, of course, but also a massive shout out to Actuaries, and of course we also want to list out a very special shout out to the people that have obviously been there for us. We're talking about Helen Breyer, Katie Wheeler, obviously Trinks Burnett, Maeve O'Brien, my family, of course, and of course everyone else that all has a role model in their lives. And also a massive quick thank you to all of our friends from AAA, and a quick shout out to the NHS.
Thank you very much, and thank you so much for inviting me to the podcast. I really appreciate it.
That's all right, Adam. Also, a massive thank you to Ollie Wines, our DJ, and the Awesome Spectacular is gonna be completely on its way with more episodes. And overall, stay safe, make sure you look after yourself, and love yourself, guys. This is your host Rufaro saying goodbye.